Watch this.
And then that's it, we're in.
We're in. Episode 1/pilot. And we've got a bit of background music from the end of Only Connect, which is all good podcasts start with. An episode of Only Connect in the background. Should we maybe at least put Sky Sports Golf on in the background?
Yeah, it's just like Chronicles of Championship Golfer though.
That would be good, although I get sucked into watching it. So, this is it, pilot. After half an hour of discussion around voice recording equipment, looking at the back of your MacBook, nearly breaking £500 worth of microphones on your floor, we're off and running.
Yeah, staying a Rich Beam, the best presenter on Sky Sports by country mile.
Laura Davies sandwiched in between Paul McKinley and Rich Beam.
So this is it. I don't really. This is the thing. We need some sort of.
We have to talk about some content, and people won't just dial in and listen just for our own benefit.
Some sort of content now.
Okay. What would you like to talk about then? Do you want to talk about your golf year?
I think we should talk about. I don't think anyone gives a fuck about my golf year. I think we should talk about.
We should do introductions. Just to get used to talking and practicing, we should do a few little introductions. You should tell us about you, I think. That'd be a nice start.
There is extremely little to know about me.
Go on.
I'm a single-figure golfer. Mm-hmm. Barely.
It's a reachy statement, isn't it? It's what all good 9 handicappers say. Go on.
Good. That's scratching very, very hard to stay a single-finger golfer. And yourself?
Well, no, it's a bit more, Tom. A bit more on you. This is Tom Mills, by the way. So, how long have you played the game for?
I started when I was 28, so quite late in life.
And you are now?
34.
Okay, 6 years in.
Yep. 6 years in, started with 24 handicap, came all the way down.
And where did you start playing your golf?
Mentmore Golf Club. Doesn't exist anymore. David Ferrety design.
Really?
Two 18s, yeah, 36 holes. Of supposed to be 4 loops of 9, but ended up just being two very good championship golf courses. Great place to start playing golf. 7,300 yards.
Long.
So,
lost your distance. So
there was a lot of 3 woods into par 3s and 3 woods into par 4s and 5s, and then moved on a couple of different golf clubs and ended up in the Midlands.
Where you play at?
The same place as you.
Which is Blackwell.
Blackwell Golf Club in the Midlands.
Blackwell Golf Club, just southwest of Birmingham.
And that's been my journey. I got out of a chicken wing, shortest backswing in the world. My swing looks a touch like Zorro.
You generate a lot of power for a 50% swing, I always think.
Yeah, well, imagine what I could do if I extended it past shoulder length. It'd be fabulous.
Okay. Best golf trip of the year? 2019. We're doing a little bit of a roundup on 2019. So,
I was fortunate enough to play Portrush at the beginning of this year, just before the Open, which was a fantastic experience.
Enjoy it?
Yeah, it was very good. And through some clerical error, we were the only guests allowed on it. It actually closed for guests, so we were able to play with no one else around. It was
Matt Central off the fairway.
It was Matt's because they were shut down for the Open.
And you handed back a Virgin Matt, I'm guessing.
Well, we had a caddy, so we had to kind of stick to it as best as we could. Unfortunately.
Sorry for our listeners. I was implying Tom missed every fairway. Obviously, slightly wasted on you that one. Cool, good.
And
should we do me? I'm probably more interested.
So this is Sam Williams.
Yeah.
He is first and foremost a banker.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Do I get to introduce myself?
Yeah,
so I'm 33.
You've been playing golf since you were
about 7.
7, okay. And you've always been at the same golf club?
Always been a member at Blackwell.
Okay.
Played golf at various other places around the Midlands.
Has Blackwell got any famous golf members or anything?
No.
Okay.
None more famous than me or you, I think, at this current stage. So yeah, love my golf. Play a few times a week. 2019 highlight for me has been taking Wednesday afternoons off work doing compressed hours. Anybody who works in a large corporate environment and sits on a gravy train.
Very, very committed. Explain what you've managed to do with work.
So what I've done is I've managed to compress, Tom, a 35-hour week into 4.5 calendar days.
And why would you do that?
So that I get Wednesday afternoons off.
And why is
so
that
on top
important?
of playing my Saturday golf and playing in the monthly medals, the Stablefoods and such like, I'm getting out Wednesday, having a few glasses of wine at lunchtime and getting out and striping a few balls. And it's been a game changer.
Yeah, what's happened since you started doing your
Golf's
Wednesdays?
getting better. Golf's getting better. It's on a good trajectory.
Where did you start 2019?
Can't remember. I think I was off about mid-5s, 5.5, 5.4, maybe just in 5.
So you're the same as me. You're a single figure
Category
golfer.
1 golfer. They're two different things. Closed out the year 4.2. Happy. Golf's looking good. Still some way from making a living at it, which is why we're probably going to talk into this about golf rather than trying.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're trending. Where's your handicap right now?
4.2.
4.2. So your official handicap is 4. Can't you be a pro?
I think I can start to try and qualify on
there
the
we go. I mean-
Euro Pro Tour. Although I don't think I'd get very far.
The big man's just come on the screen in front of you. You've got Tiger. He's a pro. So you're 4 handicapper. You could be a pro.
No, I've just watched him hit a chip shot. No, I don't think I could. However, good golf year though. Played some great places with some awesome people.
Where have you been this year of note?
Did Birkdale and Hoylake.
You're quite pleased with
in
Birkdale?
October. Birkdale was mega. Epic golf course. Never played it before. Played with a member who's been there for years.
Your inspiration.
Oh, guys, just like dream.
Are you gonna we're gonna
Come
name
down
drop,
from 6.
We're gonna name drop him. Throw his
No, we're not. We're
Throw
going
his
to give him
Instagram handle out there.
anonymity just to protect him at this stage. Came down from 6 to scratch in 18 months, and he's not doing that round, some pitch and putt. He's doing it round Royal Birkdale, and this course is tough. Jordan Spieth, 2017, I think.
on Birkdale.
I hope it is.
He's not bad, is he?
Decent. Nearly threw it away on the back 9, if you remember, on that shot. But actually went on that tee. So if you watch where Spieth carves it way right, it's out in the dunes. He's over on the other side.
Oh, that's the one he won. Yeah. When he
he takes the
properly hiked
penalty
into the,
drop.
he went into the driving range, didn't he?
You got it. And then
Yeah.
he's in the dunes. He takes a penalty drop, but he goes back. He takes line of sight, and he's over by the manufacturer things.
Doesn't he drop it intentionally by the vans? So
Pretty much.
Yeah. So he gets blocked out intentionally.
Because he's taken line of sight relief from the pin and where the ball is, goes back a country mile. Before you know it, he's in like the TaylorMade or the Titleist van, drops the ball, then takes relief from that, obviously unplayable. Finally ends up, he's about 250 yards out. But anyway, the guy I'm playing with takes me up to the tee, puts us up on the target tee and says, right, so this is where Spieth hit this big carving shot, right? On the camera, it looks like he's hit it maybe 100, 150 yards right of target. True, it's 150 yards right at the middle of the fairway that the normal average golfer would play to. These guys are playing down the right intentionally over the rough because they know it can shoot forward and into the other side of the fairway. So I think he was trying to say to me it wasn't that bad a shot. I've watched it since on
It was a shocker, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a block. It was a big cutty block.
Big slicey block.
Big problem. And you could tell Spieth didn't like it by the fact both hands were on the side of his head. Kind of
And
before
probably gave it
ball
like,
topped out.
gosh darn it, Jordan.
Damn it.
Yeah, he's it's good to play some of these tracks that they've played, isn't it? And you can see what they're up to, and you can kind of get an idea when you watch it back on the telly and what they're doing, even though they're playing it from like 150 yards further back than
But yeah, I mean, I mean, like you're playing there and seeing some of the shots and thinking. I mean, Harrington, the 17th, he put that. I think he put a 5-wood in from about 280 yards to win the Open. Put it to about 3 or 4 feet. I mean, you just look at these shots and you think, how do these guys pull it off? So, but I mean, yeah, I mean, awesome year. Played some fantastic courses. Birkdale definitely stands out there in the UK. If you get a chance to play that, 100% do it. Also played at Hoylake. We've been there a little bit with the guys from the club each year. Very lucky to get to do that. Amazing history, great clubhouse, fantastic course, and very, very difficult as well.
So good golf here for you.
Rule changes for 2019. How did they play out for you?
Yeah, rule changes. I think dropping from the knee, it just makes me feel like a sailor every time I do it. I just not got to it. Like, and when you watch them on TV and they drop from the knee, and sometimes they drop from the hip, and then they make them re-drop it from the knee, and you think there's no advantage to them dropping it higher than their knee. Just get on with it. The game is slow enough.
I would have loved to have been in the sort of RNA rules official meeting where people were experimenting, because at some point they were thinking of going with anything above ground, so anything in the air you could drop the ball from, which theoretically means if there is a millimetre between the grass and the ball, you could drop it from there. So you're essentially placing it. And they went through different iterations of it. Actually, is it better from the knee? Is it better from the ankle? Is it better from the hip? I would have loved to have been in the meeting where they decided dropping it at knee length was the right call. I've not seen one person pull it off yet.
Do you think, the question went out there, seriously, that how can we make people look as foolish as possible? Well, I reckon if you drop from the knee, you look a bit like a tit.
It's impossible. It's impossible to look cool. Now, I think the coolest golfer on the planet, Brooks Koepka. I'd love to see him drop a golf ball. I don't even think he'd pull it off.
He doesn't get himself into situations where he needs to drop it from his knee, does he? It's
true.
Dude's just on point. But no, it's. Do you think when the RNA meet to do these things, there's just a massive lash up, and they just think they get fucked, and at the end of it, they just go, "Oh fuck, we're supposed to talk about dropping it."
Do you reckon? I think they're rules people. I think rules people are not the most interesting people in golf.
I reckon it's happened up at St Andrews, and they've gone, "Just drop it from the kilt. Let's just go from there. Just find the end of the kilt and drop it from there," and that's
so
golf.
Good.
But apart from that, rule changes is a positive thing. Flagging, pretty good.
Flagging's worked. I think flagging's been good. It's quick.
For ordinary club golfers, it's just quicker.
You always get that dickhead.
Well, take it out for me. Oh, put it back in though.
So when the pin's out, and then the guy after 14 handicap, the guy after 28 handicap, whatever, is saying, stick the flag back in, I'm 6 feet away. I'm like, dude, you're holding these putts or missing these putts from 6 feet, 6 months, a year ago, and now you're asking golfers to put the pin back in for you from 6 feet so that you can have a go. It's outrageous.
Hey, it's their prerogative. If they want to. By the way, that was watch this. That shot. That was the shot.
What, the one where he puts the wedge in the FedEx?
That's the one where he sticks the wedge in on the FedEx to get the.
Is that the 15th?
Playoff.
15th at Eastlake?
At Eastlake, yeah.
That was the shot of the decade. 3-wood, Dubai.
I like the 5-wood where he manages to get
this
some raz.
Is the one. Look at that. Comes down like a beanbag from 300.
Yeah, this is when was that? 2019?
Last year.
2018.
We're in 2020. That was last.
Yeah.
It was last year, but it was 2019.
So, apart from that, I can't even think of any of the rule changes. Only the two that I can think of.
There were some penalty areas, etc. But the idea of podcast is that they're interesting for the listener.
Oh yeah, we haven't quite achieved that yet. I don't think we've achieved that in the 20 minutes we've been talking. To be fair,
we've experimented,
and I think that's the important thing. I can't even think of any. Can you think of any of the rule changes?
Penalty areas.
But just calling them penalty areas.
Well, they're changed now, aren't they? So the whole notion around them has changed.
Oh,
they are
ground in your club.
Would you say ubiquitous?
Hazard.
Ubiquitous with bunkers, water. You can technically put a penalty area anywhere.
Well, not bunkers, but yeah, water.
A bunker
red
is
stakes, yellow stakes, and then you can ground your club in the hazard, which is
We'll have to edit this out in case anyone listens to our average understanding of the rules. The key is not going.
I think the important thing is that I think everybody's understanding is average. I don't think anyone really understands the rules of golf, which is.
So wrapping it up with a good little bit of excitement here, Tom. Starting tonight, Tournament of Champions, Sentry, Hawaii, Kapalua. Thoughts?
Is that the same thing, or are you just listing off different tournaments?
That is the tournament.
Okay.
That's the one where you've got to win a PGA event in the season before to qualify. You usually get a few big guys who say, nah, not for me. Don't want to go to Hawaii first week of January.
Don't want to be in my t-shirt.
You've definitely arrived when that's you, when you've won on the PGA Tour and you're too big time to rock up for a 30-man tournament in the sun in Hawaii in January.
Speaking of rejection of tournament invites and big time, we've seen some of the invites that Rory's turned down this year.
No.
There's been I think Saudi, he turned down something like a £2 million appearance.
That was on principle. And I kind of agree with him on that.
I don't
one.
think he was on. I think later
He
on he said
said
it was
it was
principle.
principles.
Well, I think that was later on, but I think first of all, he just couldn't be asked to go.
I mean,
which I
Sergio
think- which I
nearly
think
got
is
stoned to
incredible.
death for playing in that last year. Got DQ'd.
Is that the one where he lost his shit and started like?
Yeah, he behaved like a 6-year-old.
Yeah, and started like digging out the bunkers
Wasn't
with
the
his wedge.
ticket actually. Like Sergio, love him. Wasn't good behaviour. I can only assume he was a little bit hot and bothered.
I mean, it's Saudi. There's sand everywhere. I mean,
Hot
imagine,
as well.
imagine the amount of sand in his arms.
Very, very hot.
So we
Good.
got that coming up next week.
No, that's today. That starts today. Century,
Tournament?
Tournament Champions, on at 11. You'll probably get some really mediocre coverage from America today and tomorrow.
And then we start picking up
Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, it's the
Oh,
one where
of course,
Bubba
'cause
Watson
it's-
hits the sling in
Yeah,
350
it's 'cause
driver
it's-
off the deck.
It's because it's Hawaii.
That
and it's another,
18th
like,
green
4 hour
feeds
time.
right in from front right to
yeah,
back left. So everyone hits these long shots in, the crowd go wild, but actually it's completely domed, the green. It's clear that if you get it on the putting surface, it'll feed its way around, but it does look like a pretty cool golf course.
Yeah, and perhaps we'll get the invite with one day.
If one of us can win a PGA Tour event.
Shout out to anybody in Hawaii who wants to take us there.
Big shout out to our listeners in Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's it. That's a wrap.
Okay, and I need to find some sort of outro music. I mean, I can't just play that again. Shall I just play that again?
Play it.
Okay.
It's sick. Peace.
Watch this.